You're listening to the Marketing for Entrepreneurs podcast by Etched Marketing. If you're ready to be found online wherever your dream clients are searching, you're in the right place. Each week, you'll get simple, practical SEO tips that help small businesses get found without wasting time and money on ineffective social media posts or paid ads. Learn the marketing strategies that actually help you scale so you can focus on serving your clients well. And now, here's your host, Rachel Lindteigen.
Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. I am so glad that you are here with me today. I want to walk you through a beginner's guide to small business SEO. So if you are an entrepreneur who is trying to figure out what exactly SEO is, how it works, what it does for your business, how you can use it to help you grow your business, you, my friend, are in the right place. So let's start really simply with what is SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. All that means is that we are trying to make it easier for the search engine, Google, Yahoo, Bing, traditionally, to understand our content so that they know who to show our content to when people are searching. This has been the historical definition of SEO, is just something that we do to make it easier for the content to be seen, found, searched, etc. Now, things have changed. Now we have social media, and you can truly do some SEO to make it easier to be found on different social media channels. Podcast apps are search engines, so you can do SEO on your podcast. I'll be honest, I do SEO on this podcast every single week, and it has helped it grow exponentially. If you found me in the podcast app, you searched a keyword on Apple or Spotify, and you found my podcast, that's amazing, and it also shows you exactly how it works. We also now have AI-based search. So you may hear people use terms like GEO, which is generative engine optimization, AEO, which is answer engine optimization, AI SEO. What you need to understand is it's just the next iteration of SEO. So Google actually came out in May and gave us the very first guidelines for optimizing for AI-based search or answer engine optimization. And they came out and said, you don't need to use any of these other words, you guys. It's all SEO. In our eyes, it's all the same thing. So answer engine, generative engine, AI SEO, it's all the same thing. It's all SEO. So SEO is how you get found by the people who are looking for you or looking for something related to your niche. It's also how your business can really start to grow and expand beyond your current customer base. So that's the core of it. Now, you may have heard that it's something you do at the end. It has to do with keywords. With AI-based search, you may be hearing that it has to do with answering the questions people are asking in chat. You may have heard it's super technical. You may have heard all of these things. SEO was technical many years ago. Today, there's very little technical related that we even have to worry about. We want to do things like make sure our site is easy for Google or ChatGPT or anybody to crawl, to understand, to have their search engine go through, their spider go through and look at it and understand it and index it. We want to make sure that it loads quickly because that's important for the search engines, but really it's also important for your visitor, because if your site loads slowly, nobody's going to wait. We're not sitting around waiting for a site to load like we're on dial-up in, 1999. That's just not happening anymore. In today's world, your site has to load really quickly. One of the things that I see most small business owners struggle with is the image speed. So sometimes our image files are really big, which slows down the page load time. That's one of the things that we deal with from a technical standpoint. But as far as like how technical is SEO today, it's really not that technical. You may have heard that it's all about having the right content. That's a big part of it. We want to make sure we have the right content. We also want to make sure we have the right keywords. We want to make sure that we're answering the right questions. At its core, the way I look at it is it really is about our content strategy and then what we do with that strategy. So when I'm working on a site, I look at who is our ideal customer. So who are we trying to connect with? What questions do they have? Where are they searching? And what information do I need to have on my website to connect with them? So I use SEO as the foundation of the content strategy. And that may be different from what you've heard people talk about in the past, but that's how I was trained to do it in the corporate world and in the agency world. SEO set the entire content foundation for the website. What pages did we create? What blogs did we have? What did we write about on an ongoing basis? All of it tied back to SEO, because the SEO information told us what people were searching for. What is the customer searching for? What questions are they asking? What keywords are they using? All of that goes into your content strategy. So I teach SEO a little different than some people. We don't worry a whole lot about technical. We just look at a few core things that are important, but we really focus on creating content that our ideal customer is searching for and making sure that it's easy to read and understand. So how does SEO work? Well, when you take the content first approach, like I teach, it works by telling us what to write about. So it tells us what opportunities we have. It helps us understand what content topics to choose for our website. It helps us choose our content pillars. It helps us figure out what pages to have on our site. Then it helps us figure out what blog posts to write specifically. Like, it really can create your entire content strategy. Because now we're creating content with strategy behind us. We're looking at it and we're choosing to spend our time creating content that is going to bring the right people into our world. So that's part of it, is who are we connecting with? What questions do they have? And then ultimately, how do I need to optimize this to make it easier for them to find it when they're searching? So that's the final stage, is what keywords do I use? And what questions do I answer for AI? So what keywords do I use? That's going to tie back to your niche and how competitive your website is and how competitive your niche is, and what you need to do to rank for different keywords varies for every single site. But we want to figure out, who are you actually up against in your niche? What are the websites that you need to try to beat to be more visible on Google, on our traditional search? Then we need to figure out, so that's step one, is like, what keywords do I use? So we know what type of content to create. Now we have to figure out which keywords to use, because that helps us kind of figure out what we want to do as far as which keywords we want to use for the actual optimization of that content piece or that page that we're creating. Then we're going to do our SEO. We're going to create a title tag and a meta description. We're going to name our image file. We're going to use our keyword in the header tags. We're going to use it in our copy. And then when we think about our AI-based search, we're going to make sure that we are answering the questions that people are asking in AI. There are tools that you can use that help you figure out what keywords people are searching for, what questions they're asking in AI. There's information out there. I teach my students and my clients how to use this information to really craft the correct content strategy for their website. So we're going to optimize. We're going to create that content. We're going to make sure we've got the right keywords. We've got the right questions being answered. We're doing all of that because we want your content to be visible, because you're not going to grow if our content is not visible. So as a brand new small business, or a small business who's just getting started with SEO, you want to look at a couple of things. You want to search for some of the keywords that you would like to rank for, and you want to see who's showing up. Are they similar to you? Are they big brands? Who is it? Because if you're searching with the keywords you want to rank for, and the brands that are showing up are really big brands, you, my friend, probably are not going to be able to outrank them. So you're probably not going to be able to be visible for that particular keyword. So we want to keep looking and seeing, what variation can we use? What other angle? How can we write this in a way that we have a chance of ranking? We want to make sure we're using an incognito browser window, because that's going to be really helpful for you. If you're searching in your traditional Chrome tab, you're going to get personalized results where your website might show up higher in the search results because you go to it on a regular basis. Somebody new who's not familiar with you is not going to see you there. So they're not going to find you when they're searching. That's why it's important to use that incognito browser window so that you can kind of start to see, what does somebody who doesn't know my business or doesn't know my name, what do they see when they're searching? And so that's one of the first things is just, you're thinking about who are you writing for? You're working your content strategy, trying to figure out what questions do they have? What information do I need? Then you're looking at keywords. Which keywords do I have a chance of ranking for? Then you're creating your content. You're optimizing it. If you don't yet have a copy of my beginner's guide to SEO, I actually have two of them. One is for traditional SEO. The second one is for AI-based search. So you can use those to help you figure out how to optimize that content that you're creating for your ideal customer. It'll teach you where to put your keyword, what to do, all of that. I've also got a lot more detail as to how to figure out if you can rank for a keyword in the blog post that goes along with this. So if you got the email with the link, make sure that you read the blog post as well, because there's a lot of detail in there about how to figure out if you're choosing the right keyword, what questions to ask, what to look at. And then it's going to walk you through again the places that you're going to use your keyword, how you're going to write them, following SEO best practices, all of that. Now, if you're at the point where you're thinking, Rachel, this is great, and I really just want you to walk me through this and teach me how to do it, that's what his Simple SEO content is for. That's our group program. It's 6 months. You work with me in a small group and we go through and we work on all of this together. That will be opening up again in September. So coming up in just about a month. Very soon, you'll be able to sign up. Probably in the next week or two, you'll be able to sign up for the free training for that. It's planned for the week of September 14th. So it'll be coming up pretty soon. You can get signed up and I will walk you through how we do this, and then join me in Simple SEO content. And we'll work together over the course of the next 6 months, really making sure that we get your website optimized. We get you the right content strategy. We make sure you know who you're trying to connect with, and we take care of all of this for you. If you love the concept but hate groups, then we can also work together one-on-one. I understand I have several clients who are one-on-one clients simply because they don't like working in a group. They don't like having to listen to anyone else talk about what's going on in their world, and that's fine. So that is an option as well. If you're interested in that, there's more information on that. That is mainly for 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs. If you're upper 5 figures and you want to work together one-on-one, I'm not going to stop you, but generally 6 and 7 figure are the ones that want that exclusivity of one-on-one. But you're the boss of you, not me. All right. I am so glad you were here today, and I will see you back here next week. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing for Entrepreneurs podcast. If you're ready to be found online wherever your dream clients are searching, to feel confident in your marketing strategy, and to get actionable steps that make your marketing make sense, get started today with free resources and trainings at etchedmarketing.com/freebies. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts so we can continue to help you grow your business and you never miss an episode. If you found this content helpful, leave a comment, rating, review, or share it with a friend. We'd love to learn what topics we can cover in a future episode to continue to help you grow. We're so happy you're here. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next week.